Welcome to the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. You know, with this podcast, you never know who you're going to get. There's one steady factor though, and that is
I just keep
our
showing
very
up.
own Matt
I just keep
Warner.
showing up.
I am back.
Yeah.
Joe is
gone.
golfing.
So here, let me give people how this works. Those people are always like, oh, what's Joe Yock really like? Blah, blah. Here's what Joe Yock's really like. Every week on Sunday afternoon, usually it's Emily is booking our guest and lining everything up, and she'll send out the text like, hey, we're going at 9:30. It's going to be, Ritchie McKay coming on.
It's usually the same details,
same details,
time,
but it's really
every week.
For Joe's purposes. She sends it out again, and Joe's like, oh, I'm playing in a golf tournament Monday morning. I won't be there. It's like, Joe, we've been doing this podcast the same time, same day for like how many years? And it's like, oh, this came out of nowhere.
Oh my gosh, I have an obligation on Monday morning?
Yeah.
It's almost like, how have we been on the air this long? And it's one reason. Matt Warner.
Well,
Matt Warner with the numbers that matter and the consistency of showing up and never using his vacation.
When I tell people it's a minor miracle that we get Yock in the building every Monday, it really is.
Yeah, I mean, as long as, or at least this week, we don't know what the parking enforcement is doing because they don't have to track down where Joe Yock is parking. Like I said, this is the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. OrthoVirginia treats muscle, bone, back, and joint pains and strains. Visit OrthoVirginia.com to schedule an appointment. Guess who our guest is?
Tell me.
This week, Ritchie McKay.
Yes.
What do you mean? It's not basketball season. Why would you be talking to Coach McKay? Well, I'm telling you right now, we have had some additions to this basketball program that you are going to be hyped about. So we're going to learn about that. Matt, we also have baseball, softball talk, little women's tennis, and golf. You had a busy weekend on the Diamond. Are you coaching this year?
Yes, coaching. We were playing a tournament in Christiansburg, so I was up there all weekend. So that was a lot of fun.
Any success?
We reached the semi. Well, the first day we played an inning,
and
then the rain came.
Yeah,
one inning, and then the rain washed out the whole day. So that stunk. Gosh. We drove all the way up there, turned around, drove all the way back. But then yesterday we reached the semifinal of the tournament, lost a heartbreaker 14-13. Thriller.
Oof.
Won, so close to making the championship game. But yeah, it was great. By the way, I do want to say this.
Yeah.
I'm glad you brought this up. So remember we had Tanner Marsh on the show.
Yeah.
And we were trying to get him to do the raise the roof.
Did he do it?
He had never done it. And I talked to him about it, whatever. Oh, yeah.
Because you're doing a little feature with him.
Yeah. Well, so Friday night, my son's whole baseball team, it was like 30 kids because there's like 3 different teams from the group, all went to the game. It was
fun.
It was Central Virginia Expos night at the ballpark.
Yeah.
So they're down on the field before the game, and Jack, my son, apparently saw Tanner and was like, hey, we got to raise the roof. So what happens? First inning, right out of the gate, Tanner Marsh double, gets a second, looks over the whole group sitting right behind the third base coach's box and starts raising the roof at him. It was awesome. It was awesome. The kids were going crazy. It was so much fun.
And we can thank Jack Warner for it.
They had a blast. And now Jack, every time he gets extra base hit, he's raising the roof.
Does he raise the roof?
He raises the roof.
Oh my gosh, bringing back the 90s.
It's really catching on. All started right here. Joe Yock really started all of it.
I love it.
So,
Don't give him too much
I won't.
credit.
He won't watch this.
He's going to get a little big. All right. Hey, so we have a lot to talk about, but this conversation with Coach McKay was so good. Let's get to that first. It's always basketball season on the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia.
Wait, I was wondering what we had to do to get back on here. We won 26 games, and it took 5 months to get back on here.
Really? We just had you back on, Coach, because it's your birthday week. It's still or your birthday month.
Right.
No, birthday month.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Birthday month. Happy belated.
When you get to my age, you don't count them anymore.
Yeah.
You just don't count them anymore.
I get that. You're just happy to see another one.
That's right.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. I know what you're saying.
I feel you too, Coach. So you took my seat.
Yeah,
so
I did.
Take it away for the show. Do you want to just host this thing? You made us send you questions and all that, so you were prepared for the interview.
That is one thing I appreciate about you, Coach. You have never once. Yeah. There are some people that are very like, what are we talking about? I need to know. And you have never once said.
He knows we don't even know what we're talking about.
He knows that would be impossible.
Well, Joe's not here.
Right. Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not even going to take any shots at Joe. Not while he's here. Not here.
I mean, he's golfing on a Monday.
Yeah.
I can't really say that because I'm coming off of vacation, but yeah, we definitely miss Joe. But Coach, how are you? I know it's been kind of a whirlwind. Have you finally, I don't know, that it's such an impactful group that just left the program. Has it set in yet?
I miss him already.
Yeah.
Like when you're around those guys on the daily, like your life just gets better. And they're still around. They trickle in and out. But Zach went to go to his agency to do his workouts, and Colin's in the gym a little bit with JJ. Josh went to Indiana back home for a little bit, and JC's back in Texas, and Xander's in Memphis doing some videography stuff. So yeah, it's just different without him. But like I'm gonna stay in the lane of don't be so sad that it's over. Be happy that it occurred.
Yeah.
And just having a chance to do life with those seniors, it was neat for me and our program, and what they did for us is monumental.
Yeah, I know, and this is part of the way it is. I think a lot of us knew probably by mid-season that it would probably be the end for Brett Decker as well here. The nature of the game, right? We're at the point where after one game during the middle of the season, my son, we get home, he's like, well, he's getting a lot more expensive. And that's where people.
Matt actually offered to give his salary to keep him.
And he said that's a tip. That's what I'm spending on a tip these days. Yeah. But knowing that and knowing the way things go, I guess what can you talk to us about that process and how that all went down after the season?
It stinks. Like just real talk. Like here's a young man that did a great job developing, and Brett did this. Like he worked on his game with a vigor and a passion that warranted the opportunity. So, old school is they kind of grow up in your program, and you get to journey with them, and you get to share in those things. Like the narrative about, well, it's a good thing that guys are going from your program to a high major and making more money. Like, nah,
that's people that aren't in the program, right?
That's not the lens that I look from. Yeah. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm super excited for Brett.
Yeah.
Like it's life-changing money, and he's got an opportunity, especially at Baylor, to continue on his spiritual journey at a place that I think is really healthy. So, I have no animosity or disappointment for him. Like, this is a Josh Rutledge quote. Love is wanting for someone else what you would want for yourself, and not wanting for someone else what you wouldn't want for yourself. So I love that kid. Yeah. But our program is not the G League. Like I'm here because I think we can do something exceedingly and abundantly above all that we can ask or think. So yeah, I wanted to keep him. Now the reality of it is, he's I won't say how much he's making, but like there's really no chance that we had to do that unless he turned down millions, and I mean that plurally, of dollars.
Yeah.
So, and we'll talk about some of the additions to your program in just a moment, but you can kind of look at that or feel the same way if you're a Division II coach, right? Or, because the mid-majors are almost plucking from the D2 program. So.
No doubt. So are you saying this is the pot calling the tea kettle black?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was trying to say. I just wanted you to say it.
I love how you just keep it so real.
I'm just saying, that's like, I feel for us, in Liberty and mid-majors because that happens, but
it's a trickle down.
It's a trickle down, and that's just what the NCAA has allowed to happen with just kind of the free-for-all.
It's not the NCAA's fault. Again, this is the change in climate. Not all their fault. It's a change in climate, and I'm sure there's Division II coaches that feel the exact same way I do.
Yeah.
And I'm not mad at them for that. I do think for me, I want what's best for someone else, and I think our program is I'm not saying this boastfully, but I think we're a whole person developmental program. So I do think if guys get a chance to be in a room, they're going to grow. Not saying they don't do it in other places, but I think it's what makes Liberty one of one. I just don't think there's a place out here like ours. So, yes, I'm very empathetic to some of those other coaches that we're the benefactor of, and I'm also not mad at Coach Drew at Baylor for recruiting Brett. In my opinion, that's a good move on their part.
Well, every year at the end of the basketball season, I have a meeting with Ian McCaw, and I'm like, what can we do to keep Coach McKay? The number one thing on my list is making Flames Nation happy with these halftime interviews. Yeah. And those will continue until, is it 2032?
31, 32. Listen, there's a few holidays we celebrate in our house. Christmas, Thanksgiving, Ritchie McKay contract extension day. I feel like it's an annual tradition, Coach. Am I wrong?
No,
We're happy about it.
First, let's talk about the halftime interviews.
Okay.
Because there are a faction of people, so I've heard, that think I don't like you.
There are a lot of people that think that. I think that there's actually a new Facebook group name.
Is it really?
About like
Emily Strong.
What did?
Yeah.
You were on fire this morning.
That is a good one.
That is really funny. But wait, what did they call him? What did they call Coach McKay?
I don't remember, but there was.
Is that allowed on our podcast?
I think someone said he acted like a jerk.
Was it a jerk?
Yeah. But Emily, and then she gets on, starts firing back.
You
and
defended
defending
him?
and
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
I'm just like, will you chill out? Like you clearly don't know the history of trauma that I've experienced from Coach McKay. No, I'm kidding.
No, you know what? We have fun with that, and I appreciate your sense of, even when I'm really mad.
Well, yeah, that's what I was going to say. I would really appreciate next season.
Yeah.
Can we get back on track where I'm getting you going off into halftime? Because you guys were losing quite a bit going into half. So I had to get you coming out, and then it was awkward, and I just didn't, I don't know. So let's get back on track with that next year.
We have fun with that. We're going to give it our best, trust me.
All right, can we go through the new additions?
Yeah,
can we go through them? Because, listen, I know we take questions all around town. People are like, what do you think? What do you think of this win? I'm like, listen, I can only tell you what I've read, the highlights I've watched. I would love to get you to kind of talk through some of these guys that you brought in. First off, there are now 8 players on the roster between 6'7" and 6'9". Are you too tall? Are you too big, Coach? Is that a concern?
Was this the overreaction to?
No, all right, let's start. We'll go in order of I think when they were announced. But let's go 6'8", Dylan Clausen from D2 Washburn. First off, all I can tell you is if you spend 2 years in Topeka, Kansas, you are mentally tough. So I can tell you that from experience. My wife is from there. Yeah, what can you tell us about Dylan?
Yeah, now Dylan, man, he had a fantastic year. Coach Ballard, their coach, I think at one point they were 32-1 or 33-0. I can't remember, but they were having a fabulous season. Dylan got injured at the end, so he didn't play in the last week of their season in their conference tournament, and they got upset as a 1 seed that played at home. But he was someone that, man, we thought, boy, if we could get him, wouldn't that be great? And as the process went on, like the day after our game against Nevada, actually flew to Omaha to see Dylan because he was a target of ours in their season that ended. And I just think his knowledge of the game, his basketball acumen, his skill set, he's got a chance to be really, really good. And boy, there's not many guys that you think are tailor-made for your system, but he is one of them.
I hate comparing guys to other guys or whatever.
See, I was just going to ask the same thing.
When you watch, at least when I watched his highlights, there were things there that I said, well, that's a little Cleveland-esque. Like court vision, like some of the passing, you're like, not going to be the same guy, obviously, but some of that court vision and ability to distribute.
It's an attribute that we kind of seek out, guys that have a high basketball IQ and that are selfless, and he's certainly that. Oh. But he can also score it. He can score at all 3 levels. He's not a volume 3-point shooter, but obviously in our system that'll increase a bit. And he's an undervalued or underrated defender. Like I think he's a great kid. I'm super excited that we have him in the family.
All right, how about this is a kid, Sean Register.
Yeah.
JUCO. I have a buddy who's a JUCO coach who, when that guy announced, texted me, he's like, you just got a beast. Yeah. That kid's a steal. What can you tell us about him? Almost 25 points a game.
Yeah, Sean Register Jr. He didn't belong in junior college. Ironically, he was at the same junior college as Owen Akeem.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
So, I spent a lot of time in Melbourne, Florida.
Yeah.
Not a bad place.
Yeah, and I went to see him, I don't know, a couple, 3 times during the year, and every time I was there, I liked him more and more. Just 3-level scorer, plays super hard. He played for a great high school coach in Cleveland, Ohio, at Spire Academy, and I just think, and he played for a really good junior college coach. I just think he's one of those dudes that'll play right away. Left-handed, kind of has some Georges Niang to his game, but can stretch it a little bit. I think he's got a really chance to be, and he's only a sophomore. Like we'll have 3 years with him, hopefully. Yeah.
Okay.
So the next 2 that I want to talk about, the brothers.
Yeah.
And I don't mean to bring this back to myself, but when we were naming our
really
child, I know Matt hates it.
Yeah.
When we were naming our child, I love alliteration with a name because it's like Cali Cut rounding third or Cali Cut, with the jury, excuse the game. Like I just think Callie could.
That's why she does sideline.
She's.
Yeah, you see that? Yeah.
Yeah, it's bad. Don't put me play by play. But Cooper Campbell and Kobe Campbell. See, I feel like I already vibe with their parents because they were probably thinking the same exact thing.
Yeah, they have a sister named Kaya.
See?
Kaya Campbell.
Nice.
That can actually hoop as well.
Is that
really?
right?
Yeah. So I don't want to get women's basketball in trouble, but yeah. No, honestly, there's a story. There's a backstory on this. They played at Troy.
Yep.
They've been to back-to-back NCAA tournaments. At least Coop has, and Kobe. Their dad was an assistant coach at Troy. He was a player of ours when I was in my first year of full-time coaching at Seattle Pacific, my alma mater.
Wow, I sense a Flame Central feature.
Oh, no, there's no doubt. Like the irony of this one is that'll be one of your first features, I guarantee you.
That's so cool.
And Scott was an unbelievable competitor. Scott's the dad. And that was back when I played. Yeah. So we would butt heads every day. He wasn't taking anything. He was a mix of Colin and Kaidon together and fiery. So when I heard that Scott Cross, the coach at Troy, got the job at Georgia Tech, and the two brothers may not go with him, once their name got in the portal, we jumped on it. Like I just thought those two dudes really fit us. And Cooper, who is going to be a junior, he's a point that can score it. Again, he'll get all the comparisons to Colin and Kaidon. Everybody will. Yeah. They just because of the similarities in look. But Coop's about 6'1", Cove's a little taller, maybe 6'2". Yep. Really, really good players. They'll have a chance to play right away and make an immediate impact.
Kobe 73s last year, Cooper 68 between the two. They both started more than 30 games. But my favorite part, Kobe, his nickname is the Red Mamba, which if you've seen it, redheaded kids, we're going to wear that out this year.
Yeah, I think that's Coop's nickname.
Is that right? I would have thought the Kobe would have been it.
Yeah, no. Oh, maybe.
Did I get that wrong? We'll double check.
Maybe they're both.
Well, maybe both. Maybe we'll double check that. But exciting to get them on board. And then the last one that has been announced so far. Yeah. Is it Osmar Garcia Arujo?
Osmar.
Yeah.
Osmar.
Another 6'7" guy, D2 guy.
I can already hear Matt with the
I can't roll my R's. That's the problem.
There's time to practice,
Okay,
Matt.
we'll work on that.
There's time to practice.
I've listened to your broadcast. You're pretty good.
Well, thanks. I appreciate that.
Big O is like, man.
Big O. That's where we're going. Okay, good.
Let me just say.
That's good.
When he'll be another feature.
Okay.
Like his story is incredible. Like where he came from, he's Venezuelan, how he got to the States. Like, if I had never watched him play, I would have wanted him to be on our team. He is an inspiration. Unbelievable personality. He's got this magnetic sense of humility and conscientiousness that just brings you in. He is adorable. I'm telling you, you will love him.
Habla español?
Yes, he does. I don't. But he's.
We'll have Helmut.
Yeah. He's a saint. I'm telling you. Here's the thing about our group, and we have another one that we can't announce, but there's a level of character and selflessness that our outgoing guys had, and we all got to experience, right? To be able to draw this, in my opinion, this amount of character and self-sacrifice, I just think our staff did an amazing job of identifying guys, and I mean that our assistants, like they know what works and whom I'm invested in, and they found a bunch of dudes that are like us. So, and not to mention the 3 freshmen that we signed early. There'll be 9 new ones, and that's a significant change, from what we've done in the past. But I'm super excited. We said this earlier. It'd be a little bit like having an expansion team, right? Yeah. And I know our expectations are high, and heck, I want those. I know the social media guys like Rowdy Ray and Pookie the Magnificent, whatever their names are.
Who are you following?
Probably no Pookies.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not here. No way.
I know there's going to be people that will be negative or disappointed with whatever we don't achieve, but I'm telling you, our barometer isn't just that scoreboard. Mm-hmm. It's the people, and I think I think the thing that I am most appreciative about our group is they're a great representation of our body of Liberty University. Like they're about that missional alignment, and it makes me proud to be a part of it. Really
and
does.
you have to look back at what happened in Conference USA last season. There were so many new guys on these other teams. It took them some time. So Flames Nation, you do need to be patient with a new group and so many new players that it might take until March until you guys are peaking, but that's kind of the point, right?
Yeah, but that, again, like there's not many mid-majors that, and I don't mean this self-promotionally, that 6 of the last 8 years we've been in either the NCAA tournament or the NIT. Yeah. Not many mid-majors are about that. And the disparity between the high majors and their revenue share opportunity and the mid-majors are gargantuan. They widen by the day. Yet I still believe that we can do something great here. And that's on the court too. Were we disappointed that we couldn't guard Onse Bonsu? Yes, absolutely. But man, that was one game, and I just think our group they accomplished a lot last year, even though it wasn't the grand prize of the NCAA tournament. When 18.6% of college basketball gets into the tournament, it's really hard to get there. But that's going to be our pursuit every single year, no matter how many we lose, or how many players we lose, or how many games, or how long it takes us. We want to compete for championship every year.
I know that group was so special to you and the journey that you took with them. I feel like they were here for so long too. Yeah. So just the impact that they made on this program. But with these 9 new players, what makes you most excited about what's next, and what challenges do you think that it's going to present to you as a head coach?
Good question.
Wow. Thanks. She thought about that one on the beach in the Dominican. Yeah.
It only took her a week to have it. But, I think it's kind of like our Christian life. Like it's so mysterious. Like if we had it all figured out, if we knew what was going to happen next, we wouldn't need God, right? So just that dependency or surrender, like, man, God, like, did we make the right choices with these guys? And I think for me, getting to know them, like, this is such a different climate. Like, again, in the past, we would go in the summers. I'd get months to learn about a young man, his family, the people he surrounds himself with, how he handles adversity. You have what would now be an exuberant amount of time to evaluate him. Like now you got a couple of weeks, and that's the challenge. Because there's so many different players that we had to vet. I'm telling you, it is north of 100 to get 6 guys that we felt like would be a mission alignment fit for our room. And I think we know them pretty well, but I think I'm most excited about trying to put the pieces of the puzzle together and see how they fit.
It seems like a common thread with these transfer portal guys. They've all come from winning programs. Yeah. Is that something that it factors in at all?
That's doing it. Like
I don't look into it that much, Coach. I don't know where these guys are coming from.
Joe would have never done that. Joe would have said.
Joe doesn't even know that you're the head basketball
Joe doesn't know the Washburn Ichabods. He doesn't know.
That's good.
He doesn't know.
That's good. Anderson? Do you know Anderson's nickname?
Oh, it was something unique. I can't.
Yeah, I'll next time I'm on Flame Central podcast, I'll let you know what that is. Yeah, that was something that was important to us. Like, they had to have come from, hopefully, really good programs that had a value system of, like, sacrifice, like doing what's best for the team. And I just think, like, Washburn was a #1 seed, Anderson was a #1 seed. I can't mention the other.
Troy, obviously.
Troy went to the tournament, and Sean played in arguably the best region of junior college basketball, and I think they were a 3 seed in their state tournament. So, yes, that was certainly part of it, and that was intentional. All of those guys, and let's not forget the 6 freshmen. One of the things that we tried to do, like, we had 6 freshmen returning. Like, that's it.
Yeah.
And only Xander Carter had any kind of experience that is carryover. So we try to create some balance in our classes now. And in Kobe and Big O, we've got 2 seniors. Now we have a couple of juniors. I can't mention one that we've got a commitment from, but I just think we have 5 upperclassmen, 7 sophomores, and 3 freshmen. So I think that was important, just to create some balance in our classes.
So will you do anything different this off season with so many new faces?
Yeah.
In terms of like team building or like the way you structure practices?
Yeah, we will.
Yeah.
I can't let you know what that is yet.
Well, let me know, so that can be my first halftime hit. I'm already like thinking about game one.
Okay.
That's not until November.
Oh wait, that's a midnight game. I'm out.
Yeah.
I'm out on that one. But that is exciting.
Would that affect your sleep journey?
I love that Coach listens.
Yes.
Let me check on her sleep journey.
Yeah.
Can I ask just about, and you have the 3 freshmen coming in, Eli Sancombe from West Virginia, Eli Herbert from God's country, Grain Valley, Missouri, and Reese Davidson from Kentucky.
Matt is on fire today.
You just looking at how the roster is set, I think a lot of people are going, okay, who's running point? I assume it's one of the Campbell but brothers. Like who fits what role, I guess, in terms of like, especially at the point guard position.
It's the end of April.
Okay. You come on. Don't act like you don't have this all mapped out, Coach. You're not going to wait till June and be like, oh, what do you think we want to do at point guards? Like, you come on.
We've got a variety of options at the point. But I think you know us a little bit to know, like we're an offense that is fairly unpredictable and very conceptual. So there'll be multiple guys in this offense that can play make. And we have I don't know if we have the 3-point prowess that we had last year, but we have more length and I think more ability to finish at the rim. So I'm not trying to avoid your question. I'm not quite sure.
Yeah.
Let's get him on campus first.
Osmar can play make, Dylan can play make, obviously Cooper, Kobe, Eli. Xander Carter. We've got a variety of guys that have some multifaceted offensive skill set that I think is going to be, it'll be fun to see how we can maximize that end of the floor.
There'll be some fun practices to check out this summer.
Yeah.
If you're looking actually for a motivational speaker, I think Joe Yock is actually in that business. However, I think when he spoke to the volleyball team a couple years ago, it was not pretty.
For some reason, I don't know if we shared this with you before, he got invited to speak to the volleyball team before their Conference USA match, like tournament match.
Wow.
I don't know why, but they immediately went out and just got whooped. And so no one has asked him back since.
Actually, Joe spoke to us before the Missouri State game.
Oh, did he? Oh, good. Good. That's good. Yeah.
That is hilarious.
Yeah.
Any vacations planned this summer?
Well, my son Gabriel's getting married.
Yes, that is so awesome.
So that's in a couple of weeks. And
here in the Berg, right?
It's actually in Charlottesville.
Okay.
Yeah, but
and then he is getting as far away from here as he can,
sure
pretty
is.
much, isn't he?
His mom is not happy.
I bet that.
He's an assistant for Kyle Getter,
Yes.
former Liberty assistant at Cal Baptist, the Lancers. And L's up is what they say, I think.
Okay.
Which he came from Kentucky, and they're L's down.
Right. Yeah.
A bunch of former Flames on that staff. Vic Sfera,
Yeah.
Joe Pierre, and Gabriel McKay. So, yeah, I'm super excited for him to be able to have a chance to do this with the people he's going to have a chance to do it with. And he had a great experience at Kentucky, but I also think he's a full-time assistant now, so he's off the payroll.
Your cell phone plan is on you. Yeah.
He couldn't understand that.
No?
He's like, what? Why?
What do you mean?
And the gas card. Like, hey, bro, no. Like, you get your own check.
You're getting married. You got a real job.
Well, he might get a check. It's California. Good luck.
My wife watches this. Do you have to bring that up?
Sorry.
She's still salty.
But Coach, a wedding in Charlottesville, 45 minutes up the street is not a vacation. That is very exciting.
Yeah. We haven't quite determined. Like we recruit in June and July, so we'll go somewhere.
Yeah.
It's just not on the books yet.
Can I ask one more? And I know you hate that. I know you hate these questions. But again, this is something that.
Are we gonna do mailbag? Can I do mailbag?
Oh, wow.
How's Joe doing?
I didn't. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Coach really does watch the show.
I would like
or
to do
listen.
mailbag.
Okay, we can do that. We have a basketball related question.
Which I did listen when I was on maternity leave when you came on the show multiple times.
Oh, you did?
I actually was listening. Yes.
That's good.
Let me apologize.
You were, You're the only person I would let sit in that seat, Coach.
Yeah, thanks.
What does, maybe just explain maybe the process. I know you have your first game locked in with High Point. That's super exciting. Midnight, going to be awesome. What does schedule building look like? Like when does that start coming together? And when you lose all the guys you lost, are more people picking up the phone than did before?
Great question, and you would think that they would.
Yeah.
It hasn't worked like that so far.
Okay.
Yeah. We're I think a bunch of mid-majors are in the same space. Like we end up scheduling each other now, and because the high majors are virtually unwilling. There's Nate Oates at Alabama and Will Wade at LSU. Actually, Will's assistant called the other day. Hey, you guys want to play?
You've hit him up at every stop along the way.
We have. So we're in discussion of that. I don't know if it'll come to fruition. They have a bunch of guys to get first, and really that's the holdup right now is the roster finishing that's taken place. So ours is done. We probably have about half of our non-conference schedule. We had to add 2 more games because we're not making that Ruston trip.
You are not. You are not.
It's okay with me.
Yeah.
But it is. That's one of the hardest parts about your job. It's really hard to get games, and we've done a decent job in Liberty Arena, so not many are coming here. But we actually have Dayton coming back next year, which is
awesome.
Which is great. It's December 19th, I think, is the date. So
I think I have.
that'll be.
She's
got the Christmas
vacation
party
Christmas vacation starts early.
It's funny. She knows her vacation schedule better than her work schedule.
Totally.
Well, you got to keep it balanced. No.
Well, that's good. That's exciting.
Yeah. No. We want to prepare ourselves. Like you gotta want it hard in the non-conference. Otherwise, like after the NC State game last year, it was like, man, oh man, this is not going the direction we had hoped. And then for our guys to turn around, I think it was 10 days later and win at Dayton. Yeah. Like, and that started whatever the streak was, 16 or 17. I may not coach long enough to have another 16 or 17 game home or winning streak. That was, but all that did was raise the expectation. So when we did get beat, it was like, man, it was a disappointment. And I just think our guys, they had this consistency of response that I thought was fabulous, and it's been evolving in the DNA of our program, and I'm really excited to see if our young guys can make sure that it carries over or infiltrates our current team. And there's no, like, every team you have, this is the burden of a head coach, like, and nobody knows it like us. Like, it's a heavy one to carry. There's no replicating team and chemistry year in and year out, right? So you really have to be adaptable, and I think you have to take time to listen. It's kind of like our spiritual journey. Like, it's great to pray and ask God for all, but man, we got to listen too. So I think one of the things that I'm really most excited about is just seeing how our group evolves, seeing like what's the language or the, words always create atmosphere. What's the atmosphere in our room? And my hope is that we can just continue to grow as a group and stay connected, because it's teamwork that remains the ultimate competitive advantage.
I loved that group, and I know there's so many groups that have come through here that have just been so fun to cover, but I am really excited for just kind of a new start and so many new
And Coach, to your credit
players.
too, like, and we've said this all throughout the years, like the type of guys that you've brought in consistently for the entire time you've been here, like there's only a couple of guys in your whole second tenure here that I'm like, that didn't really work out, and maybe wasn't quite
But
like
that's
a
been
couple,
rare.
like out of everybody, like for the most part, the guys that you get, the vast majority, like they are Liberty guys that fit this school, this culture. They're the type of guys that you're like, man, this kid is doing everything the right way, and it's going to be a great, whatever he goes into, he's going to be successful because he's built his life on the right things. And that's a credit to you and your staff. And with all these new people coming in, I think that's why there's so much confidence that, man, nobody's saying like, man, I hope Ritchie doesn't just go out and get a bunch of troublemakers. Just, you know what I mean? Like, there's no concern about that at all, because we know the type of guys that you bring in this program.
No, I think, thank you for that. I think Liberty itself attracts that kind of young man, and the parents of those players that we have just been phenomenal. Like, I mean that sincerely, and I just think our group, they've just had an ownership in us and we, instead of the individualism that, like, I think is super prevalent in our society now. And that's why it's such a privilege for me to be a part of it. I learn every day from being on this campus or being around those guys. So it's why we're blessed.
Well, I remember, not to hype you up too much, but
I know. I'm like, what the?
This is getting Emily will bring it down here.
I will. I have a
she'll
really
bring
good
you down.
line,
She'll
so
chop you down
stick
here.
with
Saying.
me.
But I remember when you came back here and took this job, and it was one of the first interviews we did with you.
Back in 19.
Whenever that was. It's got to be a long. It's a lot longer than it feels like. It's been a while.
Wow.
But I remember you saying, like early in your career, you took some shortcuts, and you're like, I'm not doing that anymore. I'm not doing that. And so it is very cool to sit here at this stage and look back over this course of this time and be like, you haven't. Like, you've done what you said you would do, and you've shown that you can bring in kids like that, and you can still win at an incredibly high level. You don't have to take shortcuts and bring in people that aren't about what we're about to win. You've done it the right way.
That's if you see that again, early in my career, I was trapped by comparison and a wrong placed identity, and again, God just kept sending men in my life that would continue to help me get over myself. And like Paul David Tripp says, we're all hardwired for glory. The problem is when we chase the wrong glories. And I was chasing winning, like applause, like, get to the highest level, make the most money, and that you and I, we all know, like, there's no fulfillment in the things that this world has to offer. So I tried to make a commitment, and that word commitment itself, what's the guy from Ole Miss say, the baseball coach? He said, we got to get to a place where our commitment is greater than our feelings. And I think what we do every day is really more important than what we do every once in a while. So I've embraced that, and it's been my pursuit, and I'm still a work in progress. So, but I have learned, when it says get off on exit 41, get off on that exit, because you could be going miles down the road, having missed your exit, and have to double back and take a lot longer to get to where you're supposed to go. And I want to try and avoid that.
Yeah, and you can just see it on the players that you've impacted too, and it's been really neat to follow their journeys and how they've come to know the Lord too because of you. And
your coaching tree is starting to get some branches on it now.
That means I'm old, right?
You said it.
Back in 19.
No, but we do have a brotherhood. That's the neat thing about it. Like, Darius and those guys come back, Lavelle, Mayo, Caleb. We're supposed to.
Mayo got a new gig too.
Yeah, that's right. Mayo's at Lamar.
Yeah.
Hopefully Scotty James will be back. Georgie, those old dudes, Kim Wright.
We've been talking about doing a summer game with all the alumni and like putting teams together, but we just have to figure out how to get them all together.
All their schedules are so tough.
But offer them some NIL.
That's
Well, Coach, no matter how many mailbag questions we get calling for your job, I'm just so grateful that you're on the mountain for another however many years. And what about Cleveland? Any draft?
So Zach's he signed with Promondo, a guy named Matt Bolero heads that agency, and he's doing workouts right now. I think Keaton Wagler, they've got some really good players. Wow. So he'll go from there to doing workouts with teams. We're hoping he gets into the Chicago pre-draft camp. He already did the Reese's All-Star game in Portsmouth. So there's a chance. There's a pathway for him. He's going to make some money, and proud of him. He's come a long way on the court. But man, his growth spiritually has been so fascinating to be a part of that journey. So he'll make a great impact on many.
All right, awesome. You want to do a mailbag question? It's a basketball related one.
Yeah.
We can't do Joe's whole
Doug,
bit.
did you just send one in?
Yeah, no.
Can I?
Not our Doug.
I'd like to hear them all. I like how you do these mailbags.
Trying to see what was the other one. I want to see what it is.
That was the one calling for his job.
Yeah. All right,
can you believe they extended Ritchie McKay again?
Our buddy Bruce wants to know. He says, basketball question. Lost Brett Decker to the portal. He said he hadn't seen any other guys go into the portal. Is everyone else back? I think we've covered that. everybody else, you felt pretty strongly. All the young guys that they were going to stay here, and they're bought in. Even though you mentioned like really was Xander Carter the only one that got a lot of playing time. The other guys you feel were committed to stay.
We actually had early conversations about it.
Yeah.
Just in preparation to know, to be prepared for how many scholarships or roster spots we'd have. So our guys were super transparent, and they're enjoying their experience here, and they want to fight for more minutes, which I love about it. Like, so everyone's coming back who's not been mentioned already.
Good. All right. Other question that he asked, and you may be able to answer this. I wasn't sure. He wants to know about the officials used in games. Like, does the conference assign those? Does Liberty have to assign those officials? How do those officials get chosen for your games?
And how many do you have over for Thanksgiving dinner?
In home games, it's always Mike Eads who assigns for the SEC. They've got about 9 conferences that they're responsible for. They assign every official for the home team. And when you're going outside of your league, like when we played at Dayton, I think their assigner is a guy from the ACC, Brian Kersey. So he would sign the officials for those. And then neutral site tournaments, it just depends on who the third-party neutral site vendor is. They get an official assigner and they assign them there. So there's a little bit of crossover. Many of the officials will do SEC, ACC, and Conference USA as well as A10 games. So when you get to be my age, you've seen most of them.
Yeah. And you would think that like, they probably stay in a general region. Some of these guys, no,
they travel.
It's like I was in Utah last night. I'm in Virginia tonight. I'm going to like their schedule is insane.
Yeah, it is, and a lot of them will work 5 and 6 times a week, which is not easy. But for them, it's
5 or 6 times a week.
She's a month. Try a month.
That's how much she vacations.
Yes. Yeah.
Good question, Bruce.
Yeah, thank you.
That was easy.
Yeah, I'll pass that along.
Where's Rowdy Ray? Is he?
Yeah, no, we don't get too many of those. I'm trying to see if there's another one was.
What we need to do is go to the Facebook group of Ritchie McKay is a jerk to Emily Austin, and then we can figure out some questions there. That'll be really.
The other question was baseball related, so I mean you can weigh in if you want. I know you're a big baseball fan, but Dylan was asking. He said in a projection he saw last week, it had 3 Conference USA teams as 2 seeds in the NCAA tournament, and that was Liberty, Missouri State, Jacksonville State. He wants to know, does he feel like the Flames could finish with the 2 seed and hold it, end up making a regional? Coach, you want to weigh in on that?
But in baseball, because unless you're the 1, you're not hosting.
Correct.
More
only the
often
1.
not.
Yeah.
So does it matter if you're the 2 or the 3?
I mean, no, really, no.
Because in that regional, like 1 plays 4.
The one thing that it does is, and I didn't realize this year they used to try to keep it regional.
Yeah.
That's why we were always at North Carolina or Tennessee or whatever.
Yeah.
Now they're doing it strictly according to seeding. So there is benefit in if you're the top 2 seed, you would go to the worst 1 seed.
Yeah.
So there is some benefit there now as opposed to just trying to keep it regional for everybody. So that is the benefit.
What about if you're the top 3 seed?
I mean, I don't know. I guess it would work itself all the way down. They would try to just sort it out that way. Yeah.
Yeah. They're having a phenomenal year, and I just think you just want to get in the tournament.
Yeah, absolutely.
And once you get there, like you'll worry about the matchups and all that. And it's really when you get to the tournament, it's so about your matchup.
Yeah.
Like it could be less about how you're playing going in, and so much more about in baseball who you're throwing against. And if you got to throw against 2 fireballers the first 2 games, that's going to be a challenge in itself. But if it's just the ace and he threw the first night for the number 1, like maybe you got a chance.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, see, there you go. Break it down.
Hey, we might be a baseball.
People don't know this. Sometimes we'll be doing baseball games after the basketball season.
Coach McKay will peek his head.
He'll sneak in and he'll just sit up in the booth. Now, he did that a lot more pre-transfer portal era. You're a lot busier now in baseball season.
You don't know how
than you
happy
used to
I
be.
was when the transfer portal closed. It was like,
I bet.
Yes.
I bet.
Yeah. No, I love baseball, and I actually like going in the booth and listening to you guys. You guys do a great job. There's very little lag time. I'm always challenged though when it's a blowout.
Yeah, me
like,
too.
How do you feel?
Yeah, me too. Yeah, a little worse.
Oh my my gosh, that's when you got to get the Alan York story.
You got all the
going.
stories.
Yeah.
You start digging into stories.
Oh,
yeah,
man.
yeah. No,
and then you just talk about the weather, worst case scenario. Thanks for coming on, Coach.
Yeah, Coach, appreciate it.
I hope you get some downtime this summer, and I'm excited.
Can't wait. When we're looking ahead again, I know.
Matt's very excited.
When do all these guys show up on campus?
First week of June.
Okay, good.
Yeah, like, I actually can't wait either.
I'm going to be gone.
Yeah.
I'm kidding.
How do you do it? Like, how do you
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, between you and Joe, like.
Pray for me.
What were you going to say, first week of June?
First week of June, and we'll go for about 8 weeks, and we'll probably give them a week off in between there at some point. But yeah, excited to get them all here.
Yeah.
And just
let us know if we need to come and hype up the crew. With our Flame Central.
We'll bring them all a mug.
Yeah. We're going to do a photo shoot, Coach, and make individual mugs, and we're going to throw basketball. We've
had a lot of people. Can I tell you this? I know we're dragging on too long. We need to get you out of here. But Kaidon Matheny's mom wrote in. She wanted a mug. And so we sent her a mug. And then, of course, the response I got was, oh, there wasn't one with basketball on it? I was like, that's what Ritchie always says.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to claim somebody's being discriminatory, but
but not all of us.
Yeah,
not
Tim
all
Chadwell
of us.
doesn't have a bobblehead, Yeah.
You know what's sad about that? Yeah. What's sad is when you look better with your bobblehead than you do in person.
Hey, that's good though, because sometimes they look a little.
Yeah.
It could have been worse.
Listen, it's been real.
Yeah. Thank you, Coach. Thanks for coming on.
We stop.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time, Coach. See you soon.
Let's do a halftime interview with him.
Yes.
Thanks.
See you guys.
I know we give each other a hard time, but I love Coach McKay.
He's the best.
He is
absolute best.
I'm glad that Ian McCall continues to take my advice and just continue to extend his contract.
Thank you for speaking into that situation.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah.
Someone's got to do it. No, he, it's like I said in our conversation, it's just so cool to see the guys come in here and when they do leave, how changed they are for something much bigger than basketball.
Yeah, and then when they come back,
all of them come back.
To catch up with them, and it is so cool. And what people don't see is like we had this, I don't know, how long was that conversation with Ritchie? Very long interview. We thank him
No
for
one's
his time.
listening anymore.
And then we cut the cameras, and then we talked for 10 more minutes after about it's just, he's the best, and it's been so cool watching the success that they've had.
We didn't talk about it with Coach McKay, but after, I'm not going to give away like anything that he told me off the record with the games. That should be exciting. But the coaching staff is still in place, and he was just harping on how Kyle Rode was elite this year. Just excited to see him continue to grow in that role here in the Mountain.
Yeah, they've kept continuity on that staff, which is
hard.
Really impressive. Yeah,
which is hard. But I agree with you. We need to take like a road trip and catch up with all of the assistants because that tree branch, those branches are starting to grow.
Yeah, a lot of guys. Keenan Gums is at Butler now. Elijah Cuffey is at UNC Wilmington. Both of those guys on like the strength side, which is really cool. And you mentioned Mayo and now G out in California. So yeah, there's a lot of guys, a lot of young guys. Well, they were young. Now,
I know. I feel like everybody's like, growing up and getting all these jobs, and we're staying the same age.
Thank you. Yeah. I think you're right. I agree. I think you're right.
Not what happens whatsoever. All right, let's shift gears to the Diamond. Baseball dropped one on Friday, unfortunately, but bounced back nicely with 2 huge wins over Delaware. Yeah,
unfortunately, that one, Delaware hurts because they are so awful.
Right.
Losing that game was tough. I saw where Liberty dropped 12 spots in the RPI this past week. They're 35th now. Liberty is in second place, though, in Conference USA because Louisiana Tech swept Missouri State. And La Tech is coming right now. You go Jacksonville State, Liberty, and then a 3-way tie for third place right now with Missouri State, Louisiana Tech, and Dallas Baptist. So, like a lot still to be determined there. And all 3 of those teams just 1 game back of Liberty. So there's like those 5 teams, huge gap, and then everybody else in the league right now. So a lot to be determined in these last weeks. And as we've talked about a little bit or hinted at, like the way the conference tournament is, like you definitely want to be one of those top 3 seeds because you're basically the top seed in your pool come tournament time. But yeah, so a lot still to be decided with so many teams so close together.
Yeah, Liberty will host Charlotte for a midweek matchup on Tuesday, and then how many
at
more
New
serious?
Mexico State. So here's the, can I give it to you?
Yeah. Here's
the challenge. Here's the remaining RPIs of the teams left on the schedule. So that's a little bit of the challenge as well for Liberty.
This might be numbers that matter.
Thank you. That was better than Joe's song.
Thanks.
I want to clip.
I
want to clip our buddy's like little AI song he put together, Jeff Snell's song, and just clip like the numbers that matter, just like one line of it that we can just drop in.
Yeah.
We'll work on that.
Yeah, it's it's just no big deal. Post-production.
No big deal. We got that.
We do need like a little sign, like our on-air thing that's like a numbers that matter.
Oh, that'd be good.
Or something.
That'd be good.
Just
yeah.
like adding
they can get our
character
graphics Austin to build a little like something we put in.
We can have it flash.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Just putting all these drops in everyone else.
Charlotte, we play Tuesday, RPI of 106. New Mexico State this coming weekend on the road, RPI of 198. Home for Virginia Tech for one game, RPI 38. So that one's a good one.
That might help.
Louisiana Tech at home, RPI 76 right now. That has a chance to move up some in the coming days. I think they play DBU on the weekend this week. Wake Forest at home, 22. So that's a good one.
Yeah.
But then Middle Tennessee, 201. So a little bit of a mix.
Yeah.
The in-conference matchups aren't helping the RPI much.
Right.
Liberty really needs to take care of business.
Yeah, win those.
And then you'd love to be able to steal one of either Wake Forest or Virginia Tech in the midweek here as we move forward. But, Liberty had been, slated as maybe a 2 seed and even out, some talk maybe could they host a regional if they finish strong. I think they would probably have to finish really strong to get that opportunity. But, hey, keep taking care of business. You'll put yourself in a good spot.
Yeah. On the other side, the women
softball.
had a rough weekend.
Yeah.
The Lady Flames were swept by La Tech.
First sweep against a conference opponent in 11 years.
I was going to say it had to have been over a decade.
Yeah.
Since I've been here, that hasn't happened. What are your thoughts on I know you have like the tournament.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Obviously that's your only chance to make it to postseason, but is this just an off year?
It's hard, that is your hope, right? You hope you get hot in the tournament. The hard part is you feel like this team has been so inconsistent game to game.
That's what I think too.
That it's going to be tough. Especially I feel like, it's been all of it. Like your pitching has been really inconsistent. I don't think feel like they have one person they can just totally rely on.
Right.
And then the bats the same way. Like they've been completely up and down with the bats as well. So, yeah, you got to find something between now and then.
What was that win? Was it against
Virginia Tech?
Yeah,
big.
That huge win.
In the midweek, and then you follow that up getting swept by Louisiana Tech.
That's what I thought that was going to be like, okay, the light bulb went
agree.
off
I thought the same thing. It was a turning point, and it was not.
It was not.
So, so right now they are in a 3-way tie for third, Liberty is. So, like, you're one game going the wrong direction away from being in 5th place.
Yeah.
So you don't want to be there heading into the tournament. So a lot of work to do.
The Lady Flames will host UVA on Tuesday. First pitch is at 5 p.m. All right. So women's tennis winning their first CUSA championship. And what'd you say, 26
years? Yeah.
That is so awesome. Super happy for Coach Dash and the girls.
They'll find out today where they're headed.
They will find out today. And then golf is teeing off right now in the CUSA championship tournament. So we'll see where they land and how they do. I'm pretty sure they need to win the tournament. They need to win the tournament. But I'm pretty sure they have a good chance. You know?
Sure.
So they're playing well. So we'll see how that goes. To the NFL, the draft was this past week. Diego Pavia. No, I'm just kidding. Diego Pavia was sitting and waiting for quite a while. But let's start with C.J. Daniels,
really
former
happy for
Flame.
him.
So happy for him. Was drafted to the Rams. I think that's a good spot for him.
Yeah, I mean, listen, you're going to a functional organization.
Very at least you're not going to the Jets.
Right. A very good, offensive mind as your head coach. You've also got, you have Matthew Stafford there this year, but remember then they drafted, who was it they drafted? The quarterback out of Alabama, Ty Simpson. In the first round. So, if he's able to kind of connect with him, that could be the guy going forward.
Yeah.
They also traded up to get him. So they got him in the 6th round, but they traded up to the 197 to draft C.J. Daniels. That's always a good sign.
Yeah.
They're moving up to get you. It wasn't like they're like, well, we don't have any other option here. Let's go.
There was a purpose. Have been a team that was also very interested.
They wanted him. I don't know if you saw it. There was a video of him on the call with the Rams GM and with Sean McVay, and CJ's like breaking down, crying and stuff.
Oh, no, I
You could tell he was just so grateful.
Yeah.
Listen, this is the era we're in. He obviously didn't finish his career here at Liberty. Went to LSU and then Miami, but he still kind of feels like a Liberty guy. Multiple seasons here. Such a good kid. Like, he's one of the guys that left that I've been very happy for the success that he has had.
I mean, I'm not saying he needed to go.
No.
But, I mean, he had the talent, and we all could see. I think he ended up at a great spot, made the right decision leaving LSU to go to Miami, too. But, we did the feature with his mom and her epilepsy journey. So now he'll be on a national stage, hopefully playing on Sundays and being able to bring more awareness to that. So, and it's just, I agree. Like, it's just fun seeing him because he is such a good kid. Brylan Green, a current former Flame, whatever you want to say, he got a rookie minicamp invite to the Minnesota Vikings and Matt Warner's Kansas City Chiefs.
Come on, Brylan. We need help. We need help on the defensive side. Let's go. Hopefully it goes well. You never know what those rookie kind of camps look like. But the fact that he's gotten into a couple of them, at least you have more eyes on you. Right. And he's the kind of guy where, as people get to know him, coaching staffs get to talk to him, it's hard to not love that kid.
I know.
He's
awesome.
He's a good dude. So hopefully he makes the most of his opportunities.
And last but not least, another former Flame, Kaidon Salter, accepted a rookie minicamp invite to the Tennessee Titans. So,
hey, I want to mention something else.
Yeah.
That kind of slipped through the cracks, but I really thought you would be all over this.
Matt, I'm still on vacation brain.
That's fine.
So what did I miss?
Allie Zealand's record.
Oh my gosh, yes. When we were talking about what guest should we have on, I would have loved to have her on, but I can't have her on again without Joe here.
Well, the problem is we're going to have her on like every other week.
I know.
She keeps setting these records. But she set the 5K, not only the Liberty record, which she ended up breaking by like 22 seconds, but she set the pin relay 5K record, which had stood since 1984 when an Olympian set it. Like, it's lasted longer than I've been alive.
Yeah.
And she broke the record there.
The pin relays is like,
that's a big deal.
Like one of the biggest and best meets of the year.
Yeah.
So that's huge. Man, so what we need to bring back the tape, because didn't Joe say she's not going to be a national champion? She's not going to be.
Well, she hasn't done it yet.
I know.
Hasn't done it yet, but
this is just, we're trending in the right direction.
Right.
I like it, Allie. Prove him wrong.
Yes.
There was also the marathon world record went
London,
down,
right? Yeah.
1:59:30, which is wild. Joe has a long way to go. All right, what else do you have, Matt? Am I forgetting anything else?
No, I think that's about it.
Okay.
Yeah,
that was a great conversation with Coach McKay. Super happy to have him on. I love how he knows.
He watches.
Yeah,
he listens.
Yeah.
He was a little insulted that we didn't have him on sooner.
I know.
But I'm like, Coach, we're not going to have you on until you announced who these new additions are.
Exactly.
So that's why we waited. It made sense. And like he teased, sounds like there's one more coming. So keep an eye out if you haven't seen it already.
Awesome. Well, thanks for being here, Matt.
Hey, always glad to be here.
It makes it a lot easier not doing this by myself. And thank you for listening or watching the Flame Central podcast presented by OrthoVirginia. Hopefully, we'll have the full band back together next week. See you then.